Hey guys, my name is Luis and welcome back to the studio. So in this video we will be reviewing and testing out the free Toolbox bundle from KiloHearts. The free Toolbox bundle consists of 6 different effects plugins, and the plugins are a 3-band EQ and a chorus plugin. We also have a delay plugin, a gain plugin and a limiter, and of course also a stereo plugin. And we will be using the plugins on an actual saxophone sound, because I think that using the plugins on an actual sound is better than just looking at them and discussing them. Yeah, this video has not been sponsored, so this is entirely on my own, but let's get into FL Studio. Okay, so here we are in FL Studio. This is the saxophone. This is a very simple saxophone, and the only thing that I have applied to the saxophone is this mono plugin, which just removes all the side frequencies if we take a look at this ozone imager right here. You can see that the signal is entirely mono. The first thing we want to do is to try out the KiloHearts 3-band EQ, because I think EQing the sound is really important. So just really quickly, a great thing about all of these plugins is that you can adjust this UI scale, which I really love and really like, because for instance I have a very big screen, which means that sometimes my things are very small compared to what I see. You can also disable and enable the plugins, and you can also go into this little arrow which allows you to name your presets and save them really quickly. You can also go to this folder right here where you can save and collect your presets. But let's get into it. Let's start by EQing this saxophone. And again, this is a 3-band EQ, which means that if you want to remove peaking resonance frequencies, you would need probably a parametric EQ. But let's move on. The next one I want to add is the chorus, so we can get some sort of dimension on our saxophone. Let's just listen to it. So right now it's kind of wild, but let's just turn down the mix. So now I think we have a really nice stereo saxophone, and what I really like about this chorus plugin is that it is really simple. I think that everyone can use this. This is really easy to use and I really like that. Let's take the next plugin. Let's just use the gain plugin and let's see what this does. Okay, so the gain plugin is very simple. You simply just pull up the volume or you tear down the volume. And let's just move on to the next one. So the next plugin will be the stereo plugin. And I actually really like the stereo plugin because you have the opportunity to control how much width and how much mid you want at the same time. And you can also pan if you want to. But right now, I guess we want more width. So let's just keep it here. And the final one that we want to add is the limiter. For now, we also want to add the delay, of course. So the limiter is kind of the hardest plugin, if you can say so. So let me just talk you through this. We of course have the threshold, and the threshold is kind of when the ceiling hits your sound. Everything above the threshold will get cut away. And I would prefer to use a compressor So I would actually have liked a compressor in this plugin bundle as well, because if you use a limiter, you just kill the dynamics. But what you can do to kind of avoid this is use the release, and the release kind of determines how long it takes for the limiter to return back to the normal volume. And I think this gives it some sort of dynamics. You can also apply in-gain, which means you apply how much gain that comes into the limiter. And this, of course, affects how much your limiter does on the sound. You also have the out gain, which affects the sound after the limiting process. And the final thing that I want to do is to add some delay, because we also do have a delay plugin from KiloHearts. So let's just look at this. We have how much time it takes for the delay to pump in. For instance, we have 200 milliseconds, which sounds like this. I think this is too aggressive right now. We also have the feedback, which is kind of how long the delay keeps going after the original sound. We also have ping pong, and ping pong makes your sound go from left to right or right to left, depending on the way you have panned your sound. You also have the dock function, and I actually really like this, because this means that every time the original sound plays, the delay will get slightly lowered in volume, so you don't have to sidechain it manually. And of course, the panning function is which way do you want the delay to go. And you also have the mix function, so the more mix, the more delay, and the less mix, the less delay. Let's just get to it. So I think I will go for a 1/4 sync, or maybe 8, which sounds like this. And what we want to do here is to, of course, adjust the feedback. We also want to adjust the mix. And let's just add some ping pong to it as well. And now I want to use the dock function to remove some of the delay when my sound is played. So this is kind of the sound with the delay. So if we listen to the sound without all the plugins, it sounds like this. And if we listen to the sounds with the plugins, it will sound like this. Okay guys, this is the plugins from KiloHearts. I really do like the free plugin Toolbox pack that they offer you for free. And I think that these 6 plugins are very great for a simple sound. I think if you want to add, for instance, a very heavy layered piano or some sort of guitar with a lot of different notes on, you want to have a compressor, you want to have a mid-side EQ, you want some more plugins where you can tweak everything. So overall, I really like this, and I think this free toolbox I will definitely use, for instance, the choro and the stereo function in my future productions. Of course I will. But I think some of the others I will use FL Studios, or I will use some of my other plugins. So yeah, I really like this suite right here. But thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comment down below, and feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you liked it, and I will see you in another video. Goodbye.